Welcome everyone. Waste management. Waste management is the topic for this particular video. So what are waste? Anything that is rubbish, anything that is trash, anything that is refuse, that is garbage, that is junker, that is litter, that is dirt, anything that you are of no usage, new usage is known as waste, is unwanted, useless material. In biology, waste is any of many unwanted substances or toxins that are expelled from a living organism. Metabolic waste such as urea and sweat. Basel Convention defines waste as a substance or object which are disposed of or are intended to be disposed of or are required to be disposed of by the provisions of the law. Please understand the Basel Convention. I again repeat for you to understand it. Substance or objects which are disposed of or intended to be disposed of or are required to be disposed of by the provisions of the law. Disposal means any operation which may lead to a resource recovery, recycle, reuse, or direct reuse or alternative use as the case might be. This is already present in the Annexer 4B of the Basel Convention. The definition produced by United Nations Statistical Divisions. What does UNSD says? Says waste are material that are not prime product. That is a product produced for the market for which generator has no further use in terms of his, probably her own purpose of production, transformation, consumption, and of which he, perhaps she, wants to get rid of, dispose. Waste may be generated during the extraction of the raw material, the processing of the raw material into intermediate and final product, the consumption of the final product, and the other human waste, residual recycle or reuse of the place of generation that has been executed altogether. That needs to be understood time and again. So this is what the definition of waste according to United Nations statistical divisions. So kinds of waste: solid waste, waste in solid form, be it domestic, commercial, and industrial. Example: plastic and styrofoam containers, bottles, cans, paper, scrap, iron, and other trash. I am talking only of solid waste. Let me give you examples of liquid waste also. Waste in liquid form. Example: domestic washings, chemicals, oils, waste, water from pond, manufacturing industry, and other sources. According to the European EPA regulation, solid waste, European Pollution Authority, any garbage or refuse or is a municipal solid waste, sludge from the wastewater treatment plant, water supply plant, or air pollution control facility, other discarded material, perhaps solid, liquid, semi-solid, or contain gaseous material from industrial, commercial, mining, and agricultural operation, and from community activities then and there. This is what waste is all about here. We talk about the classification. Let me give you biodegradable waste that can be degraded. Let's say paper, wood, fruits, and other vegetable skins, if I may say so, are biodegradable. Non-biodegradable, that just cannot be degraded. Let's say plastic bottles. Let's say any form of old machine cans, styrofoam containers, and other things. These cannot be degraded in a lifespan of a human being. Probably it takes few generations to be degraded. So we would classify it as cannot be degraded or non-degradable. Then we have the hazardous waste, substance unsafe to use commercially, industrially, agriculturally, economically, and have any of the following properties, which is ignitability, it catches fire, corrosivity, reactivity, and toxicity. Then we have the non-hazardous waste, substances which are safe to use commercially, industrially, agriculturally, or even economically, and do not have any of those properties mentioned above. These substances usually create disposable problem as the case might be. Now, classification of waste according to their origin and type. Municipal solid waste that include household garbage, rubbish, construction, demolition, debris, sanitation, residue, packaging material, trade refuge, or are managed by any municipality. Biomedical wastage, solids or liquid waste, including container, intermediate, or end products, generating during diagnosis, treatment, and research activities of medical sciences. Then comes the industrial waste, that is all about liquid and solid waste that are generated by manufacturing and processing units of various industries like, let's say, chemical, petroleum, coal, metal, gas, sanitary, paper, etc. etc. Then we have the fourth kind of waste as an agricultural waste generated from farm activities. These substances are mostly biodegradable, absolutely, and almost 100% biodegradable. Fisheries waste, the fifth kind of waste generated due to fisheries. These are extensively found in the coastal areas and estuarine areas. Again, probably are biodegradable. Then we have the sixth kind of waste, the radioactive waste. And this is what the man-made waste is all about. Very dangerous. Waste containing radioactive material, usually these are byproduct of nuclear processes. Sometimes industries that are not directly involved in nuclear activities may also produce some radioactive waste. Example, radioisotopes, chemical sludges, etc. etc. The last seventh kind of waste are the e-waste. Electronic waste generated from any modern establishment. They may or may not be refused or discarded as electronics devices. Some electronic scrap components may contain such as cadmium, barium, brominate, flame retardants, and so on and so forth. These are highly hazardous material altogether. So sources of waste, it can be household as has been given, it can be farming, it can be industrial productions. You need it about it. This is what the household waste will be looking about it. This is what commerce and industries are looking around here. Impact of waste, if not managed wisely, it affects our health. It affects our socio-economic condition. It affects our coastal and marine environment. It affects our climate too. So please understand, GHGs, greenhouse gases, are accumulating in the Earth atmosphere as a result of human activities, causing global mean surface area, air temperature, and subsurface ocean temperature to rise. The water is coming up, the ices, the glaciers are melting down, rising global temperature expected to raise the sea levels and change precipitations and other local climate conditions. Changing regional climates could alter forest, crop yield, and water supply. This could also affect the human health, animal, and many types of ecosystem. Desert might expand into existing rangeland, and features of some of the parks that might be permanently altered altogether. Impact of waste. Some countries are expected to become warmer, although sulfates might limit warming in some areas. Scientists are unable to determine which part of those countries will become wetter, which part of those countries will become drier. But there is likely an overall trend towards increased precipitation and evaporation, more intense rainstorm, and drier soils. Whether rainfall increases or whether rainfall decreases cannot be reliably projected for a specific area thereby. So impact of waste activities that have altered the chemical composition of the complete atmosphere. Buildup of greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Carbon dioxide is released to the atmosphere by burning of fossil fuels and wood products and solid waste. Methane is emitted from decomposition of organic waste in landfills, the raising of the livestock, and the production of the transport of coal, natural gases, and oil. Nitrous oxide is emitted during agriculture and industrial activities, such as well as during the combination of solid waste and the fossil fuels. Way back in 1977, US emitted about one-fifth of the global total nitrous oxide. Now, sources of human exposure, where it is better to keep or avoid places so that it doesn't affect the health. Exposure occurs to the ingestion of contaminated food, contaminated water, contact of disease vectors, inhalation, dermal is your skin that comes around here. Point of contact, soil absorption, storage, biodegrading, plant intake, ventilation, runoff, leaching, insects, birds, rats, flies, animals, you name it, we have it. We just um, are coming out of COVID-19. That was something which was spread through bats as a bird or mammal, if you want to say so, different species altogether, spreading into the human species per se. Direct dumping of untreated waste in seas, river, and lake results in the plant and animals that feed on them. Waste hierarchy is refers to the 3 R's. 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Keep on doing it. What are we looking into it? We are trying to talk dispose of. We are trying to recover some sort of energy, recycle, reuse, probably minimize waste as much as possible. If possible, prevent waste, all form of things. What are we looking into it? We are looking at the most favored option, prevention, to the least favored option, as in disposal cases might be. So waste minimizes solid waste, minimizes packaging, recycling, paper, plastic, metals, glass, wood, reusable, textile, leather, rubber, metal, woods. Compostable is yard trimmings and food scraps, vegetables as the case might be, as and when we talk around. So what should be done? It is, we are talking about reducing waste. Reduce office paper waste by implementing a formal policy to duplex all draft reports and by making training manuals and personal information available electronically. Improve product design to use less of a material. Redesign packaging to eliminate excess material while maintaining strength. Work with customers to design and implement a packaging return program as on one, or let's say you have an exchange program altogether. Switch to reusable transport containers. Purchase products in bulk and not in individual units. Bulk, as bigger as possible the case might be. So what should be done? We should try to reuse corrugated moving boxes internally, reuse office furniture, reuse office supplies, reuse inter-office envelopes, files, folder, reuse durable towel, reuse tablecloth, reuse napkin, dishes, cups, glasses. Reuse incoming packaging material for an outgoing shipment. Encourage employees to use office material rather than purchase the new one altogether. So what should be done? You should try to donate. You should try to exchange old books, old clothes, old computers, excess building material, old equipment to local organizations, as the case might be. So we are trying to do as much of reutilizations and probably revitalizing the economy in a different fashion, in a much more innovative fashion, as the case might be. So one thing that people should be doing is all about education, sensitizations of the employees, the staff, the member, the people, the citizens. Develop an office recycle procedures packet as on when on basis. Send out recycling reminders to all employees, including the environmental articles. Train employees on recycling practices prior to the implementing recycling program. Conduct an ongoing training process as the new technologies are introduced. New employees to join the institution as on when on basis. Why shouldn't we do around it? So education campaign on waste management that includes extensively internal websites, quarterly newsletter, daily bulletins, promotional signs, and helpful reference labels within the campus of an institution. This is more important. Conduct outreach program adopting ecological waste sound waste management system, which includes waste reduction, which includes segregation right at the source, composting if we can reuse, degrading, biodegrading it, recycling and reuse, more efficient collection, more environmental sound disposal, as the case might be. This is an ideal situation of waste reduction, segregation as sources, composting, recycling, reuse, more efficient collection. This will help us for a sound disposal. With this, I come to an end of this video. Thank you for watching this video till the end.